Hello, and welcome to the race management briefing for the Optimist Early Summer Championships 2021. My name's Ian Bullock, and I'm going to be your PRO for the weekend. A few things are a bit different this year, mainly due to COVID. First of all, this is the competitors' briefing. There won't be another one in person at the venue. Secondly, this is going to be largely a paperless race,
which means that the notice board will be online only. There will not be a physical notice board at the venue. You can find this at the address shown on screen. On the notice board, you'll find the major event instructions. Now, this is a large document, but it doesn't change from event to event, so it's well worth becoming familiar with. In addition, you'll find the documents that do change from event to event, the supplementary sailing instructions for the main fleet and the regatta fleet. These are just a single page, details of mark colours and such like. Also, there's a link to an online protest form, so all protests will be done electronically rather than on paper. And finally, just remind you about Telegram. We run a broadcast channel so that the race management team can communicate with competitors, and also a queries channel so that you can ask questions. But I would ask you to just use that sparingly so we keep it low traffic for important messages only. One of the key pages in the MEIs is the course card, which also contains the flight colour rotations. So if you're not familiar with the way Optimist racing is run, because it's a large fleet, we have 2 starts per race and 2 colour groups per start. So those colour groups rotate. So by the time you've done 3 races, everybody will have had a chance to race against everybody else. So it's really important you get familiar with those colours. Let's have a close look at the course. There's a trapezoid or current deck course. So the first start, signified here by a blue and yellow dot for race 1, sails upwind. And then when they get to the top, they reach across to mark 2. The red and white, the second start, comes straight back down again. So now both fleets are sailing very independently for their second beats. Then the red and white go across the top, round, and follow the yellows and blues home. So those colours change for after race 1, but that should give you an idea of how it's run. Let's look at the course in a bit more detail. So we've drawn marks 3 and 4 as single marks here to be ran to port. We could do that, but in reality we much prefer to lay a gate, so you have a choice of whether you go left or right at 3 and at 4. So watch out for that. Also, watch out for mark 5. Somebody always misses mark 5, so please don't let that be you at this event. So the start, these diagrams have shown that pin mark as a buoy so far, but we will almost certainly be using a boat, a rib with a orange flag on it. So either way, if it's a mark or a buoy, it will have an orange flag on it. We'll also lay 2 small yellow pillar marks downwind of the line, and they're the holding area. So if we're in sequence and you are not starting next, you should be downwind of that line or its extensions. So instead of having a fleet that looks a lot like this when the orange flags are displayed, it should look like this. Next thing to mention is that we will be starting under either uniform or black as our preparatory signals. And both of these flags mean that in the last minute before the start, you must not be in the triangle formed by the line and mark 1. If you are, the race officer has no choice but to disqualify you. So when those flags go away, don't be where those 2 boats are, or you will be disqualified. Quick note on the finish. So this is also drawn as a mark, and it may be a mark or a rib. Either way, it will have a blue flag on it. So blue for finish, orange for start. All I ask on the finish is that when you sail around from mark 5 and cross the line, just please keep sailing. Don't stop immediately on the line with flapping sails. That makes it very hard for the next boats to finish and makes it very hard for us to record numbers. Next, I do need to say just a couple of words about fair sailing. It's really important on the water and ashore that we respect our fellow competitors and we respect the rules and we play to the rules. If you have an infringement, which can happen, simply do your turns or do a spin if you hit a mark and carry on racing. There's no need for anybody to be bad-tempered out there. So finally, good luck. I hope you have a great event. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you on the water.